I mean, I didn't go crazy or anything. Okay, maybe I got the little fucker a little too hard, okay? Maybe I chopped a little bit too much, you understand? But it's just in one of those moods, you know? Little fucker was knocking my shit all over the place. I just had to hack him up. I didn't think his limbs were gonna fall everywhere. But, you know, it's the one thing that just boggled my mind. It's that brain. That brain. It just wouldn't die. What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. The Brain That Wouldn't Die, Rated X, is a film from 1962, and one that I wasn't going to miss from Scream Factory. I've wanted this for a long time, and I finally picked it up for this year. And that cover, I mean, I was not going to miss this film that's completely black and white, and you know, one of the most macabre sci-fi films from the era, with like a plot like this and a poster like that, and I just had to check this out. There was no way that I was not going to eventually. So the premise basically is this mad doctor. He wants to preserve the head of his to-be bride after an accident, and he likes to experiment in basically attaching limbs to bodies, like reattaching limbs, and he's practiced a lot on it, and he likes to push the edge. At the beginning of the film, there's this body that this doctor did a botched job on, and unfortunately the person ended up passing away, and he's like, listen, I can fix this. I can like revive this guy because he literally just died. You give me 5 minutes and I can probably bring him back to life, kind of thing. Maybe he's going to be paralyzed here and there, maybe he's going to be different here and there, but he will definitely live. And the doctor's like, what are you talking about? You can't do that. And then he does, and then he tells the doctor to like massage the heart, and he does these little tips and tricks, and then he ends up actually, saving the guy's life, even though he already crossed mortem, like his heart stopped and he was pronounced dead. He actually did bring this guy to life. Now, he practices, like I said, illegally, reattaching limbs and stuff like that. So he's driving in the car with his wife, soon-to-be bride. They have an accident. He preserves her head. I mean, none of this is like logical or anything like that. And he preserves her head secretly in this laboratory that is in this like humble abode, like this really exotic castle-looking place, I would say. And he's just basically looking for a body to give her, to attach her head onto. And he keeps going out at night into these like sleazy bars with these women of the night, and you get a lot of these like jazz room scenes where there's a lot of jazz music, and he's very flirtatious with these women, and he's trying to seduce these women to bring them home, but he has like his intention is to drug them and then give the wife a new body, kind of thing. So he plays Frankenstein like crazy, and he's just nuts, but he's very like who's the psycho guy? Norman Bates. He's very Norman Bates kind of psychotic. Like, he's very charming. He's not creepy like Norman Bates, but he's extremely charming, and he's extremely normal, almost Ted Bundy kind of style. And his mission throughout the film is just to find some woman to take her body and give it to the head of his wife. But it's a very gothic film. It's a very of its time film, and it's just dripping with atmosphere. And that's exactly what I expected it to be from a poster like that. Like the atmosphere in this film is just like it almost feels Roger Corman esque, and he had nothing to do with this film, but it feels like a Roger Corman film, or a Roger Corman produced film. And it's just such a ridiculous, bonkers, macabre story, and it just works. It works for the kind of sci-fi that I like these 50s and 60s, just weird, strange, midnight television sci-fi films. This is just perfect. It screams and drips in atmosphere. The effects that they did on the head for the time were pretty good. Sometimes during the film, like during the jazz bar scene, something like this, they can drag a little bit. It kind of sometimes they take too long because it's just him and dialogue between women. Sometimes it goes on for like 15 minutes. Sometimes, it's just talking and talking. It gets very talky. But there's this other doctor at the house too with the head of the wife, and they have banters back and forth too because the head can talk. And she's alive, like it's just her head kind of thing, and it's sitting in this like pool of like bloody liquid that's like going to her brain and stuff like that and keeping her brain alive. And this head is only able to stay alive for like 50 hours, I think it's mentioned, so he has to find a body pretty quick. And this doctor has conversations with her. He kind of starts to fall for the wife too, slightly. You have this climax that I'm not going to spoil the climax, but I'll just say that it definitely reminded me a lot of the film House by the Cemetery by Lucio Fulci. I'm just going to leave it at that. The climax gave me those vibes, and it came out of nowhere too. The the climax kind of pulls something like kind of pulls the rug from under you and delivers this new kind of theme and mood that you're kind of like, whoa, that changed tone. But like the atmosphere and the cinematography is exactly what I love in 50s and 60s sci-fi, and it's just gorgeous. Like it's just one of those films that I just have a blast with. This is the second best film so far that I've seen this 31 Days of Horror, next to 30 Days of Night, 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. That film was fucking awesome. That film really impressed me. For a direct-to-video sequel, that film impressed me a lot. And I must say, like this film, like films have been pretty middle of the road mostly for this 31 Days of Horror, which I mean it is what it is. I pick films at random. But definitely there's been some stronger entries in previous years. I've still had a good time this year, and this one, is right up there at one of the best. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is a 4 out of 5, and has so much rewatch value. It's not even funny, and this is like the perfect film to watch late at night when if it's raining outside or if it's a cold night or something like that. It's one of those late night television feeling movies. It's so good. It's just amazing. So I'm glad I finally picked this up. I'm glad I have this in my collection now. And alive without a body, fed by an unspeakable horror from hell. The brain that wouldn't die. Fucking amazing. So good. So yeah, can't praise it enough. It's not a perfect film. A lot of people are going to hate it because a lot of people are just going to find it cheesy and stupid, which I don't blame them. It's not a film for everybody, and it's not a style for everybody, but I just love that kind of shit, and I could eat it up all day. So, yeah, day 24, 31 Days of Horror is keeping on trucking, so check out what's on the channel already for 31 Days of Horror. Check out the previous years as well. Subscribe if you like these 31 Days of Horror series, and I love doing them. I have a blast doing them, and yeah, I love talking spooky. So until tomorrow's review, another spooky film coming up, and yeah, stay tuned if you want to check that out. Keep things spooky yourselves. Hope you're enjoying your spooky season, and until next review, cheers.